and that is Nicki Minaj and her husband Kenneth Petty relationship is basically on the rocks. And there's been media takeout talking about it, the cheat sheet talking about it. So people are on TikTok talking about it and talking about it a lot.
A word around the curb is Nicki Minaj is throwing her husband out because he's been cheating. He's been cheating allegedly. Now, I'm not in these people's eyes. I don't know how true this is. But they said that Nicki Minaj's husband been cheating while he was away, like while she was away on tour. He was cheating, having, paying and other stuff like that. And they also said that he's been cheating here and there. He's been on his safari, okay? Bad, real bad. And they saying Nicki is over it. Nicki's tired of him. Nicki threw his clothes out. He got her doing all these legal fees and, all of this because of him. And he got the nerve and the audacity to cheat. So I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, Nicki, cut that dead weight off.
This lady is trying to give Nicki Minaj some advice, right? And she's saying,
so let's stop it for a minute. We talk about, are we surprised that a woman named Nicki Minaj, her husband is cheating on her? Are any of us surprised? This dude, we know his history. He's egregious. All right, but she had to settle, I guess. Did she settle for this man? Or is this just paying to play? Like we tell women like Kendra, this is what they refuse to do, but Nicki don't mind.
I don't think it's settling, nor do I think it's cheating. Like you say, her name is Nicki Minaj. Shout out to these celebrities with all their life and business up here on the internet. We know who you are. It ain't cheating at this point. He just got caught exercising his options. That's my take.
Yeah, and who's to say that she's, maybe emasculating him because she is the breadwinner. We all kind of know the history of their relationship. They met, they were together back in the day, and then they got together after she, blew up and started her career. So who's to say if she's emasculating him or not and making him feel like the man of the relationship? So we gotta dig deeper to find that out.
And there you go. So I think that comes with the territory, Miss Ebony Dean. Sisters, masculine sisters like Nicki Minaj, they are going to dominate and emasculate their men. And what comes along with that territory too. He's been emasculated and undervalued. He gonna cheat.
Nicki Minaj resides in.
You married to a man who on the offender list. Nicki Minaj made over $100 million in her career. Why would she be settling for a man who got to go check in every 3 months? And I've seen one of these lists recently locally from where we from. And I've seen some egregious people on the list. You see like pastors of the church on the list. I'm like, how the hell this man still run the church and he on his list? Somebody make it make sense.
Man, slash and burn it all down. What you got, Miss Red Talk? What you think?
His last name is Petty. He has 15 different mugshots. What she expect? I don't think he changed. I just think she mad.
They ain't no changing. Every quarter, 4 times a year, you gotta go. You gotta wake up, look at your clock and say, oh, I have to go take this picture for this reason. Ain't no way, heck, you can never have peace, and you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it for being on said list, dang it.
Yeah, and how embarrassing for Nicki, because you ended up with a prison nug who has to, check in every 3 months, and you're supposed to be the top, the baddest one in the game, and you're just out here like all the Bonquishas and the prison nugs, and it is.
What she expect? I don't think he changed. I just think she mad.
They ain't no changing. Every quarter, 4 times a year, you gotta go. You gotta wake up, look at your clock and say, oh, I have to go take this picture for this reason. Ain't no way, heck, you can never have peace, and you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it for being on said list, dang it.
Yeah, and how embarrassing for Nicki, because you ended up with a prison nug who has to, check in every 3 months, and you're supposed to be the top, the baddest one in the game, and you're just out here like all the Bonquishas and the prison nugs, and it is not a good look for her. This is embarrassing.
Every 3 months, this is what he has to do. For people that he lives around, they have to know about him. And this is, in my honest opinion, must be very embarrassing to go through this, especially if you're Nicki Minaj. You're a worldwide superstar. You make hundreds of millions of dollars. You brag about that you sell out the most concerts and shows, which he does. But this is your boyfriend, okay? This is your husband, actually. This is the father of your kid. And I've noticed that with a lot of ladies that give advice, you know, if he's cheating on you and if he's doing X, Y, and Z, you should cut him off because that person is dead weight. And this is the advice a lot of women give to each other. But you know what, guys?
Here's the thing. What would Nicki Minaj do? She gonna divorce this guy and have to pay him? At best, it's a lose-lose for her. She just it's cheaper to keep him, huh?
Yes, at freaking best. She not settling. We're gonna take that out of the equation. If Nicki, she used her daggone comments since we talk about this week in and week out. If Nicki Minaj at this point in her life was going to find a man that she halfway desired to marry her, what type of luggage and baggage gonna come along with it? On a whole hunching registry, offensive red huncher list. God dang it. That's crazy. That's what it takes. So she ain't settled. She found her level with all her money.
She clearly got what she wanted. Like, she wanted some like faux masculine man that has to go in and take a sex offender picture every quarter. That is egregious. Like, there's no way I could comfortably go around my family with this going on. Like, this has to go out to the community. And I have that little app on my phone that you can see like who in your area is this kind of guy. And I would be so mortified. You got to think like the kids' teachers, everybody knows this. I wouldn't, this wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have waited this long to have a baby and choose a man like this. And just because she circled back to him, this is all the more reason why you don't circle back, because what he did to that woman, or what that woman alleges he did to her, is egregious. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But just to be called out for something like this, and you have charges, and the state wants to keep up with you like this, it's just, wow, embarrassing. That is a hell of a lot of mugshots. He has to do this for the rest of his life.
Most likely, yeah, I would have to imagine.
Embarrassing. Like,
relationship is a lot of women give to each other. But you know what, guys? I sit back and I think about Nicki Minaj and who she's had the opportunity to deal with. Safari, no, it was a no-go. They're both Caribbean. You look at somebody like Meek Mill, they're both pretty big time rappers. Then you go to Kenneth Petty. Safari isn't perfect, but I would believe that Safari has more upside than Kenneth Petty. Meek Mill definitely has more upside than Kenneth Petty. So why do you get with Kenneth Petty in the first place? Because you can control the guy. He's the only kind of person that will put up. And a lot of times, women that talk like this, talking about the terms dead weight in relationships, you'd be surprised that they don't understand that they may be.
Well, here we go. Even she getting cheated on. So you get, women, like I say, like Kendra, you say, we ain't dating these millionaire men because all they do is cheat. Well, Nikki say, I'm getting with a broken Dusty. It's something with y'all kuda-katas. Y'all need to reevaluate, sisters.
What we got on kuda-kata reevaluation?
I mean, Nikki's crazy. She gonna meet another crazy person. You get what you are. I mean, she met her equal. Like, he's not gonna not cheat on you because you got money.
And the whole emasculation thing, I gotta believe that plays a role. So he Dusty, but let's stop. We're not gonna sit here and act like Nikki's money means that her sexual value is higher than his because he broke. We know, what a double standards here. This, like I said, we know her history. You done been with Meek Mill. They talking about your BBL was failing. They got all types of egregious pictures online. There is nothing sacred about that matrimony. Like I said, it ain't cheating. They just living life, and she mad about it.
Yeah, and it's like you guys always say about men cheating for femininity, because if she's emasculating him and making him feel less than a man, all because of her money and everything, of course he's going to go out and do that. So, we all saw this coming years ago because we just knew what it was. So
there we go.
He must be hitting the bottom of that kuda-kata because she done went crazy.
Man, hitting the bottom. I think this was her last shot. Let's see who Nikki gets after this. This was her last shot. It's over. She gonna pop up with a girlfriend.
And that's one thing about Nikki. She always weenie drunk, like O'Shea just illustrated. Any man she ever dealt with, even Safari, Meek Mills, she always head over heels for these guys.
What is that? I thought she was a cold-hearted plastic Barbie. Huh? You got soft heart there, Nikki? Soft heart and hard buns?
The dead weight in a relationship. And how do we know if they could be the dead weight in a relationship? Well, if you're Nicki Minaj and you are who you say you are, and you're big like Beyonce, and you can't find a Jay-Z, you got to find a guy with all of these problems, then you're the dead weight with anybody who is productive. The only man that you can get is the kind of man that you can control. And this is getting more popular, especially with women, that have a lot of money, have a lot of fame. They're going in two different directions. The first direction is, I'm dating younger guys. You see this with Tracy Ellis Ross. You've seen it with Drea Michelle. You've seen it with so many women, Emma Rose. And this whole idea is to let's big up these younger guys because these young men out here, they're different. Move the goalposts, right? They want to date these young guys, in my honest opinion, because young guys typically don't have a whole lot of experience. Yeah, it could be true that they're more open to things. But then again, when you're dealing with a younger guy, you can be more intelligent than if you're dealing with a guy your age. And this is not to say that women are not smart when they're talking to a certain age group. But what I mean is this. If you're an older woman dealing with a younger man, you may be getting some respect that maybe you don't deserve. All right? I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe you don't. So now that younger guy probably is not aware of why the other dudes don't want to deal with you. Like if you look at Kenneth Petty, this is a great deal for him, right? He's going across the world. He's touring. If he don't marry Nicki Minaj, he's back in Queens, wherever he is, on the block. He's poor forever. He has no opportunities, and he's done for the rest of his life.
Think about that. This ninja from the hood done did time. His boys like this fool done married Nicki Minaj, one of the greatest come-ups of all time. He in the catbird seat.
And shout out to O'Shea. I don't think it's odd that these older sisters are dating younger men. From what we have learned, have we not observed that younger men, their value is low? They have yet to make anything of themselves. And now you got these older gatekeeping sisters, these nanas and aunties. They may have some funds, but their SMV is low because they have abandoned their youth, and they most likely cannot even try to begin to pair bond with a man. So you got a low value young man, respectfully, and a low value older woman. It matches. They just don't want to acknowledge that. That's why they always hunt you.
Yeah, and it will behoove him to make it right, because if he goes back to the block, he can only go back to certain blocks because there's schools around them blocks, and you can't live and be around certain parts because of you're on the O list. So it will behoove him to work it out.
Behoove.
There's absolutely nothing coming towards his way, and he knows that. And so he has an incentive. When he want to make a decision talking down on Nicki Minaj or be disrespectful, he got to think about that. But when you're Safari or when you're Meek Mill, look, hey, Nicki, you can talk about all you want, but hey, I'm Safari. I can find somebody else. I'm Meek Mill. I can find somebody else. And they all do. And everybody that they have found have been comparable to them. Because as a man, you don't need a woman to make more money than you. But Nicki Minaj, even though she's successful, she should still go after a guy that earns more. But to go after a guy who doesn't have anything is very, very telling. And so I don't understand, why do they keep telling women, girl, you need to find somebody else on your level and give yourself some energy. Well, then why did she get with him in the first place? And this is what ladies just don't understand. You are what you put out. And again, I'm not going to talk about people's bodies, but I will say this. When you dress a certain kind of way, right? And ladies, you need to understand this. You attract the kind of men that are going to be in your life. If you are a BBL person, you dress very provocative, you got blonde, orange, green kind of weaves, wigs, things like that. Unless it's an anomaly. Most dudes look at that and say, I don't know if I could take this serious. Most guys, business guys who are in the industries outside of entertainment, most guys like solid looks, solid brown hair, solid black hair. If it's going to be a weave or something like that, then all right, cool, that could be fine. We can deal with the weave as long as it looks like it's your actual hair. Now, once we start getting to the point where things don't look natural, it's not your natural BBL, you're behind or whatever. And then on top of that, I gotta say this. you may or may not have a particular attitude that is unfavorable to a man. A man that got opportunities just can't deal with that. A man that got opportunities, for the most part, he will deal with it if he thinks it's going to get better. He really loves you, but at a certain point, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So
I don't know. You don't know what you're talking about, O'Shea. All right, we done heard it from Kendra. What was the other woman? Dr. Bryant. They say they are in the room with these millionaire men. That's all they know. So why is Nikki dating this guy when the rest of these women are around millionaire men?
Because that's all she can get.
Ain't no way around it. Thank you. It's an easy to answer question. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, so I heard this man here, he may be 47, so he ain't younger. But again, with the trade-off, look at the extreme baggage he comes with. There's no exceptions. So she got a guy around her age. What comes along with that? On the offender list? I don't think so.
They don't understand that just like if it was that easy, they would have one, but they don't understand that they're not in the league that they think they are. Like, because none of the men, because it's like obvious, right? Like, why didn't Kendra find somebody in all of the studios and all of the broadcasting stations and networks that she's worked for? Why didn't any of those men come in and save her? Because the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, Kendra. It's not that like you haven't been able to find the one hasn't chosen or selected you. Like that, when there's this person that I've been watching, this guy, he puts together these like pictures on YouTube. And the one thing that I keep going back to is like that hypergamy thing. Women only date across from them or up, right? That's the goal. It's always like, but for the Cheyenne Bryants and the Sarah Fortnots, they think that they're like all the way up here and they keep getting cooked every time because it's like the guy that they want is telling them no.
But
Like,
they see, and then you are 100% correct, but they don't word it like that. They don't say the guy that I want doesn't want me. They done wrapped up into a package of these high value guys. All of them ain't ish.
no.
If a couple of them don't want me, then all of them ain't ish. None of y'all get a good man.
They would gladly have an ain't-ish guy if it was the guy that they deemed. The guy that they deem the one can do anything they want. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care when Kendra says, oh, that would not work for me. That would not work for me. If it was the guy that you was after, you would accept anything from him. I'm sorry, she would, especially this late in the game. Come on now. You're going to die alone? You're going to tell me that that's what you want? I don't believe that. I don't believe anybody wants that.
No.
I think we all want our person. Like,
I mean, Nikki got that little broccoli booty. We don't know what that butt look like when she getting out that shower. And just because it's like the Angela Simmons thing, right? Like after you get her, I mean, Nicki Minaj is like a female Chucky doll. Like, he's not studying her.
I like that. I like those wicked visuals. Like I said, her butt been all deflated, discombobulated. As soon as she get out of the shower, it ain't gonna look like what you desire. Then she'd be talking about some ED. No, your butt look weird, sister.
Yeah, and now it's all looking like not everybody gets that Ashanti, fairy tale type situation with ending up with Nelly. Like if you didn't have that anything established, these are the results, and this is what you end up with. So it doesn't.
Hold on, they say Nelly is dusty and he leftovers.
I was gonna say, be careful, Ebony, because they dragged me for saying Nelly was the prize. So.
But he is the prize, though. I mean, in ways, she is the prize too. But the fact that they came together, come on, this is Tip Drill Nelly here we're talking about.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, we see us. Are we old? Are we older now? Us older folks know. We know who Nelly is. We know the legend, the mogul that is Nelly. You know what I mean? And like I said, people are so quick to forget. Like Nelly, a wholesome, beautiful guy. When he first started, he used to wear a band-aid under his eye. One for fashion. He wore it in honor of his sister that passed away due to cancer. Like, he a beautiful guy, man. Good dude. You know what I mean? And the reason why the Ashanti Nelly thing worked out, because Ashanti was in position to tell Nelly beautiful lies. She could, I've been saving my coup de grace for you. She ain't got no kids. Can't prove her wrong. Huh?
That's true. That's true. She kind of preserved herself a bit. So
And think about this. Shanti didn't get with nobody for all them years. She was out there, just out there.
And you didn't hear nothing about her. So there was
Nobody
like,
picked her up.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So Nelly can believe she was waiting for him. Beautiful lies. Shout out to KS.
Yeah. Well, Nikki and this guy, no beautiful lies. They going to the sub.
And terrible lies.
The passengers of the doomed Titanic sub spent their last moments in total darkness looking for bioluminescent creatures out of the small window and listening to their favorite music. The new details of the 5 passengers' final moments have been revealed by the wife and mum of the father-son duo.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, diamond wade in the water. Something's gonna trouble the water. You better wade in the water. Yeah, man.